السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. هو نضال فريد في نوعه لحزب أعدم مؤسسه ذو الفقارعلي بوتو قائد باكستان الأكثر شعبية، واغتيل معظم قادته ولا سيما رئيسة الوزراء السابقة بنظير بوتو، إلا أنه ثابر وصمد وظل حزبا رائدا صاعدا في الحياة السياسية الباكستانية. إنه حزب الشعب الباكستاني رافع راية الديمقراطية في البلاد. مواطن قوة هذا الحزب والقيادة الشابة اليوم والتحديات في الانتخابات المقبلة نتطرق إليها جميعا من الداخل. معكم زينب صفار، تابعونا. لعله حامل راية الديمقراطية في باكستان، حيث يعد نضاله الأكثر نضجا من أجل سيادة الدستور والبرلمان هو الرئيس الباكستاني ورئيس الوزراء الاسبق الراحل ذو الفقارعلي بوتو، مؤسس حزب الشعب الباكستاني، الرجل الذي سطر معايير التضحية عندما رفض بثبات الاستسلام للدكتاتور ضياء الحق وواجه محاكمة زائفة وتم إعدامه عام 1979 في قضية وصفها حتى أسوأ منتقديه بأنها جريمة قضائية. عرف باسم قائد العوام بالأردو أو قائد الشعب، ولا يزال شخصية مثيرة للجدل، إذ إنه رغم الترحيب به لقوميته ووطنيته تعرض لانتقادات شديدة بسبب تخويفه لخصومه السياسيين. ولعل الفترة الممتدة بين منتصف عام 1977 وربيع 1979 هي الأسوأ بالنسبة لقادة حزب الشعب الباكستاني والعمال، حيث واجه الآلاف السجون والإدانات والجلد والتعذيب والإعدام شنقا. وكان وقع إعدام بوتو أشبه بقنبلة على حزب الشعب الباكستاني وباكستان كدولة والعديد من القوى العالمية. أما ابنته بنظير بوتو رئيسة الوزراء الباكستانية السابقة فقد لاقت مصير والدها نفسه، إذ واجهت المحاكمة والسجن والنفي ومحاولات اغتيال عديدة قبل أن تقضي بآخرها عام 2007. وبحسب المعلقين فقد فشل حزب الشعب الباكستاني في المرحلة الأخيرة في إحداث أي تأثير كبير على السياسة الباكستانية. أما اليوم مع بدء المرحلة الجديدة من الشراكة بين القطاعين العام والخاص فيستمر الصراع والتحديات أيضا، ولعل الوقت وحده سيحدد هل بإمكان الحزب استعادة قواعده بقيادة حفيد سلالة زردار بوتو الشاب بيلاوال بوتو. السيناتور سليم ماندفيوالا نائب رئيس مجلس الشيوخ في باكستان وسليل أسرة عريقة في مجال العقارات وأعمال في قطاعات التصنيع والإعلام والسيارات في كراتشي ومدن أخرى في باكستان منذ عام 1921، والذي يمتلك كل صالات السينما في باكستان، يحدثنا في الذكرى 39 لاستشهاد ذو الفقارعلي بوتو إلى أي مدى لا يزال ارثه اليوم حاضرا في قلوب الباكستانيين وعقولهم.
Well, I think he was the only prime minister who actually brought democracy to this country, and I feel his legacy lives on and will always live forever as long as Pakistan exists and People's Party exists, because he is somebody who brought awareness in the masses. He is somebody who made people realize, that they are Pakistanis, and that's how I feel that he evolved in the country and brought People's Party to where it is. Right. And it in true sense, it is a party of the people of this country, and that was his whole goal, to make the people part of this party.
Is the legacy of Dhul Fiqar Ali Bhutto just related to a party or to all Pakistan?
No, I think it was for all Pakistanis. At that time when he started his movement, if you saw, there was no other party actually left, because his movement was for the people of Pakistan and for the masses of Pakistan. Can you imagine that people could not even get a passport in those days? It was Zulfiqar Bhutto who gave them a passport.
Exactly.
Basically, he gave the people their rights, which they were being denied.
So he rebuilt Pakistan.
He rebuilt Pakistan, and all that you see today, and frankly speaking, Pakistan became a nuclear power. Pakistan's nuclear program was started in Zulfiqar Bhutto's time, and we all feel he paid a price for that. And today we are strong and we stand to the world because we are a nuclear power.
Right. Now, tell us, let's shift to talk about the party politics of the People Pakistan Party. Tell us about the major changes that the PPP has undergone up till today.
Well,
what were the prominent things that changed in the party?
Well, actually, I don't see much has changed, but definitely People's Party suffered a lot of setbacks. Bhutto was hanged, Benazir Bhutto was assassinated.
Sure.
So, you know, a party which suffered such huge losses in their party, lost the leadership completely, had to recover from that kind of damage that happened to the party, was really difficult. And in that, of course, President Asif Ali Zardari played a very important role to save the party, because at that time we had nobody to actually lead the party. And today, by the grace of God, we have Bilaawal Bhutto, who continues Bhutto's legacy and Benazir Bhutto's legacy. But that period that went by was a very difficult period for People's Party.
Of course.
And I think it's from God, from Allah, that we were saved, that we had a person in the party like President Asif Ali Zardari, who continued Bhutto's legacy and who continued the party, you know, as such. So I think now, as Bilaawal is moving ahead, and we feel that again that leadership vacuum which was there is now being filled by him, and I think he is going to be the future leader of this party.
Since you're talking about a young, promising man who's Bilaawal Bhutto, and he is leading now the PPP, tell us more about the youth influence in the party. How much does it constitute, and what do you expect to see in the sector of the youth, the party?
Well, youth is very important to People's Party, and the fact is that our leader is the youngest leader of all political parties. So he actually represents the youth.
And he's very active.
And he is very active, and youth, his forte is the youth, and he is, we are presently having a huge membership drive all over the country, in all districts, everywhere, and we are, majority of the membership that is coming is from the youth, and I think that is a sign, and in many places, in many speeches, you can tell, and he claims that I am the leader of the youth, not anybody else.
Right. But what attracts the youth into the PPP? Is it the platform? Is it because of the fact that the leader is a young man?
Actually,
is it the legacy of the Bhuttos?
Actually, you have to understand that People's Party is the only party which is a party of the federation. What we call it, that our provinces and our administrative areas, I mean, you will find anywhere you go in Pakistan a member of the People's Party there. So it's really a party which represents the country.
So it's a national party, not a provincial party?
Not at all. And you can travel anywhere in Pakistan while you are here. You'll always find people representing People's Party. And in all kinds of areas, in all kinds of walks of life, you'll find People's Party people existing in that area.
Right. Now, when Zulfiqar'ali Bhutto set about rebuilding Pakistan, he stated his intention was to, I'm quoting him, to rebuild confidence and rebuild hope for the future. What are you attempting to achieve in the forthcoming elections in July, I think, July or August, as a party, and what does that mean in terms of new ideas put forward in your electoral platform?
Actually, in our manifesto, our main agenda is to provide the basic necessities to people. We have a basic slogan which is called Roti, Kapda and Makan, means bread, cloth and housing.
The most important needs for everyone.
And this was the slogan of late Zulfikar Bhutto also. And we continue with that slogan because in many ways you can say many things, jobs, youth, industrialization, economy, all these things, but they all fall in these three words. Because if you can provide these three things to everybody in Pakistan, you have basically achieved what Zulfikar Ali Bhutto's goal was. So our target is for the masses, for the people of Pakistan who cannot meet their
basic needs.
And that is what our goal is.
Is this only restricted to the rural areas, or it goes
No.
about in all?
It goes across
the country.
It goes in urban areas, because urban areas also have its problems. It's not only the issues are in the rural area, even urban areas have these problems. So we are going to take care of it across the board, and our manifesto very clearly states that all these issues we are going to address all over the country.
Right. This is one basic need for everyone, which is housing, clothing and food. What else is in your manifesto?
Well, the other thing that we are mainly looking at,
to rebuild again, to revive the hope back in the people,
is basically to education,
right,
health and employment. And these are the three areas that we are seriously looking at how we will, like I can give you one example. One area we are looking that we want to have health insurance for every Pakistani. He is free to go and get himself treated wherever he wants to. But all these things are obviously our desire. We have to see how we can implement them economically.
Yes.
And obviously,
are they plausible?
And I mean, per se you can say that in Pakistan we say that medical is free, but do people get the medical attention they need? That's the issue. And that is what we are all facing in all over the country, that we don't get the standard of medical treatment for every Pakistani that we want. So we are we are looking at these things, and I'm pretty confident one by one we will be able. The biggest challenge right now is our economy.
This is my question now.
And with the troubled economy, I should say right now, we have to be very, very calculated in our plan. How we are going to recover from this bad economy that whoever is going to come in next in the government is going to inherit.
What about education?
Education is also a big challenge. Like again, education is free in Pakistan. But do we get does a Pakistani get a quality education? He doesn't. So we need to address all these issues.
Right, sir. Allow us to stop now for a short break, and then after the break we're going to discuss more the challenges that the PPP faces in the forthcoming elections and life also in Pakistan, but after the break. إذا فاصل قصير ونعود، لا تذهبوا بعيدا. يلاحظ أحد المراقبين أن التحدي الأكبر الذي يواجه حزب الشعب الباكستاني وزعيمه الشاب سليل عشيرة زرداري بوتو بيلاوال بوتو زرداري معرفة كيفية إعادة اختراع الحزب الذي فقد طريقه منذ اغتيال والدته رئيسة الوزراء السابقة بنزير بوتو في ديسمبر كانون الأول عام 2007. اليوم، ما هي نقاط قوة حزب الشعب الباكستاني؟ وهل تتكئ هذه القوة على رئيسه بيلاوال بوتو وارث عائلته، أم على ماذا بحسب السيناتور سليم ماندفيوالا نائب رئيس مجلس الشيوخ في باكستان؟
Actually, as I told you that the legacies of Mr. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, that legacy continues, and Chairman Bilaval also continues that legacy, and he wants to ensure that whatever late Zulfiqar Ali Bhutto did, he would like to continue. So basically, coming back to the same thing, we are a people's party. The name says itself. It's a people's party. This party
never
belongs.
deviated from this sense of the spirit of the
you
party?
might hear of that. You might hear of that, but in real sense, no. We never deviated.
Excellent.
And people in the party are actually the workers of the party. Nobody else. I can claim that I am a deputy chairman of the Senate today, but in my party, I am a worker. And that is the spirit with every person. Doesn't matter, he is the Prime Minister, he is the President, he is a worker of the party.
Right.
And that is the spirit in this party. If you meet anyone from my party, he will say the same.
Right. What about the challenges?
Well, we have challenges.
What are the most prominent challenges that you might be facing in your political life and also in the forthcoming elections?
Well, definitely we have challenges, as I mentioned to you, that we had a big vacuum when Benazir Bhutto died or was assassinated, and during that period we suffered a lot of I should say other parties gave an impression that People's Party is finished, People's Party is not in this area, People's Party is not in this province anymore, it's become a regional party. But the fact is, because we lack leadership, because we had a crisis that we faced, and it was, let me tell you, when any party loses a leadership, it's a very big crisis, and we saw that, we went through it. So it was very difficult, and I personally feel that is the biggest challenge today, to reach out to the people who were with us, who left us, and who thought this party is finished. And that is the challenge that Bilaval Bhutto faces today. And I am pretty sure that once people meet him and once he reaches out to people, they will come back to the party and new people will join us.
Right. What about disagreements inside the PPP?
Well,
what is the real underlying reason for such kind of rifts inside the party that we read in the narrative in the media, for example? They talk about internal opposition, factionalism, so on and so forth.
I don't think so, but disagreements, I personally like disagreements. I like that there should be disagreement. And in our party is the only party where you will see a worker standing up and talking what he feels to the leadership. I have not seen this in any other party, although I have friends in all the parties.
You are based on democracy.
Real democracy exists in People's Party. You will see people standing up and voicing their views, not fearing what will happen to them, or they'll be thrown out or kept in the party or what. So what I'm saying is that it's in the party we have a lot of democracy, and we want that the legacy should continue, and we want the goals Bhutto had set in his life should be met. So it's now everybody is looking forward to Chairman Bilaval.
How threatened is the legacy of the Bhuttos?
Well, it was threatened for the time being, for the time that...
Allow me, sir, Senator, to say something here, that Mr. Bilaval came down hard on the PML Nawaz's central government for its alleged attempts to sabotage the Benazir income support program. He lamented that his mother's picture was removed from the logo of the BISP program earlier in January. And he said, quote, "How can you expel Benazir from the hearts of the people?" So can we sense that there is an attempt to try and
well, this is again when, I'll again go back in history. When late Zulfiqar Ali Bhutto was hanged, same thing happened at that time. They wanted that Zulfiqar Ali Bhutto should be forgotten, his name should be forgotten, his picture should not be shown anywhere. Nobody should talk about him, but it doesn't happen what you want. Similar thing, not only this, that Chairman Bilaval is mentioning, that her picture was removed, they even tried to change the name of the airports.
Exactly.
From Benazir Bhutto's name. So these things you can try, but it really doesn't change anything. So it's just somebody trying to forget a leader. But people don't forget.
Today, how do you describe your relationship with the army, with the military? Are you on good terms?
I think we don't have an issue with the military or the judiciary. People's Party has...
Do you need to be on good terms?
We have had issues with individuals, yes. We have issue with General Ziaul Haq, no doubt about it.
Of course.
We have issues with individuals of the institutions, but we have never had an issue with the institutions as such. And I don't think we are a party who really targets any... our Prime Minister was dismissed by the courts. We never reacted towards the court, although we knew that it was wrong, and then Chief Justice did something wrong to the Prime Minister, because he was asked to leave for just not writing a letter, which never happens in any country. I have never heard. But anyway, even then we didn't target the institution, because we knew that it was the individual, it was not the institution. So People's Party never targets the institutions as a policy and as People's Party.
Right. Now, when the PPP formed the government after the 2008 general elections, the economy, the law and order situation and relations between the center and the provinces were in a terrible state. Okay?
No doubt. It was,
right. Now, today, how is the situation, and how much do we attribute what happened in today's Pakistan to the PPP and its policies?
Well, I personally feel that we tried our best during the People's Party government to recover from what you are saying. No relationship with the provinces, having issues,
law and order,
and order issues. We had to fight wars. We had to take over Swat. There was, militants in Swat, and all these things. So it was a very difficult time. And in 2008, 2009, when we took over, there was an economic meltdown. Our stock exchange was closed, literally closed. So we had to deal with all these things and come out of it and take out the country out of a depression, you know. And
so what changes have you undergone to reach this phase?
Well, actually we took over Swat, which was being held by militants, and we tried to deal with this militancy in Pakistan a lot, which continued obviously as a policy. And economically we had to do a lot on the export side, on our remittances side, on our economic issues that we were facing, our industrialization, our agriculture, everything was in shambles. So we had to kind of help these sectors to come back online and get going.
Right. Senator Saleem Mandvewala, Deputy Chairman of the Senate of Pakistan, many thanks indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for coming to Pakistan.
Always welcome, sir. It's a pleasure. It's an honor, sir, to be here. إذا لقاء جديد في الأسبوع المقبل مع ضيف جديد وقضية جديدة ودائما من الداخل. للمزيد من التواصل بريدنا theinside@almayadeen.net وصفحتنا على الفيسبوك من الداخل. من كل فريق عمل الميادين، من كل الميادين، من داخل، من قلب البرلمان الباكستاني، من إسلام آباد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.